Hey, it's Greg at Best Choice Trailers. Today I wanted to take you for a walk around the Neo NAMR. This is a 6x12 single axle. First one of these we brought in. We've done this model in a single axle 7x12 with plus 12-inch height for UTV customers, but thought this would be an ideal unit this time of year for guys with bikes and whatnot. If you're not familiar with Neo or the NAMR, you think you're missing out. This probably, I would say you could make a very good argument, it's the nicest Powersports trailer in the market. It's all aluminum frame. This unit's probably going to come in just over 1,000 pounds empty. Single axle, 3,500 pound axle is going to be rated for $29.90 GVW to keep you just under electric brake requirement. But let's take a walk around the trailer. Everything you see here is, for the most part, standard equipment. We've added aluminum wheels, and there's a couple new for 2024 items I want to show you. But like most of your single axle trailers, it's going to have a 2-inch ball. It's going to have a standard 2,000 pound top line jack. It's got the sand foot at the bottom, which makes it nice, doesn't get down into your gravel or sand and dirt. Neo has a integrated frame, so it's unique. There's a couple other ones that have started doing integrated over the last handful of years. But basically, rather than having a tongue, this fully integrates underneath, and I'll take you underneath the trailer and show you that. But basically, you've got your traditional A-frame, you've got your center drawbar, and they're all going to tie in right under that stone guard. Which, speaking of stone guard, you'll notice it's on a little loop-de. Gives it a neat little profile. It's not straight cut like most of them. It's got the newer style side flow-through vents. Industry, for the most part, has gone away from the roof vents over the last probably 6-8 years. This is a little bit nicer, neater, sportier style side flow-through vent. If you're not familiar, basically it's designed for cross ventilation, so it's going to intake on the front top driver's side opposite your exhaust, and then it's going to exhaust out the same as your vehicle exhaust. You'll notice it is a round top. That is all a one-piece cove as well. That's an 080 cove. A lot of times if it's diamond plate or color match to the trailer, it's just an 030 skin. So it's a lot thicker. It's all one piece. Super cool that they're able to do a round top V-nose and a slant V. So you'll notice that the V-nose tapers down. Typically, if you ever see a slant V-nose, it's almost always going to be on a flat top trailer. To do it on a round top is pretty cool. To see the jig that these are built on, it's pretty insane. It's pretty neat how they're able to do these. Get you a little bit of a close-up. They do a mixture of MIG and TIG welds, nice and clean. There's a couple different types of vendors that build aluminum enclosed in the industry. I'd say about 30, 35, 40% are just a steel frame manufacturer that kind of builds aluminum frame just to kind of fill gaps in production schedule in the off season. Neo only builds aluminum. We prefer to do business with the vendors that just do aluminum. Tend to get a lot higher quality product because that's all they do. It's also a different product. A lot of the ones that build steel and aluminum, the product looks basically like an aluminum frame version of their steel product. There's just not much, I think, you're going to find in the market that's going to have the cool factor. Some do two-tone, but they don't do two-tone like Neo does two-tone. There's about probably 10 different designs you can get. Two-tone itself is standard. That is the standard two-tone on this model. There are others available. There is a cost upgrade to do so. If it looks clean down the sides, that's because this is a screwless exterior. It's got 030 metal. If you can pull the screws out of trailers, it's going to look a little cleaner. Also, 024 metal is your thinner metal. This is 030, which is more prevalent. You see 024 mainly just on your more economical models. So technically, steel wheels are standard, but we put aluminum on all of our Neos. So you've got an aluminum wheel assembly. It's going to be a 205/75/15. It's a load range C. It's a 6-ply tire. It's a radial tire. The rear, you've got Neo's jack stands. They're pretty neat setup. They build all this stuff in-house. It's kind of crazy. You can do it with one hand if you pull hard enough. But jack stands are pretty sweet. A lot of them are just a steel underneath that pivot. And where the pivot is, there's definitely a weak spot on your traditional ones. These are all solid. It's a 2x2 jack stand. No pivot point. These are actually, if you've got a cargo trailer that's not a Neo, there's a good chance Neo stands will probably actually fit. They can be sold a la carte and put on many different brands of trailers. The kind of cool part about these are they actually don't go into the rear corner post. So there's actually jack stands that are, I believe, 1 1/4 tube that you can do on steel frame enclosed. They're not quite as substantial as these. The only downside is they go up in the rear corner post. So if you leave them down and drive away, it can potentially damage the back. On these, if you drive away, this is external to the trailer itself. So you're probably gonna pinch here or rip your lags at the rear. This is the new style. This is what I want to show you. This is the new style M-Tech hinges. This is a cableless ramp door. So pretty slick. I'm not going to say nobody doing a cableless ramp door, but as a standard feature, and I'll say as slick as this is of the few that I've seen. I think I've seen 3 now. This is, I think, the nicest one. So it's a cableless ramp door. It's also got the NXP latch. If you're not familiar, these are stainless. I think I've been doing these for quite a long time. But it's a stainless steel center latch assembly. You can put a lock through it. You can use your thumb, or I just use my palm. The really cool part about this door, besides the fact that it's stainless, it actually literally pries shut. So let me show you it's not even closed. It pinches pretty tight. It's a pretty seriously tight seal. It's going to allow that to happen. This is literally prying that door shut, as opposed to a typical door where you're going to push a bar lock in and then it's going to settle backward. So pretty slick. I put the handle down on these just so you're not tripoding off the handle as you put it down. But again, cableless door, you've got maximum entry through the door. I want to show you the integrated transition. So Neo builds a transition right into the door, which is pretty neat. Notice it's plywood on the floor. A lot of trailers nowadays, you're going to see engineered, and occasionally you'll see OSB, but typically you see engineered in them. Neo's kind of old school. They're still using plywood and everything. Vinyl face wall. It's not a standard feature, but we add it to all of ours. So if you want to order a unit, you can get an open face wall with a 12-inch scuff. That's what's standard. But we do the vinyl walls in all of ours. Standard is the sport tie-down system you see in the floor. So you've got tie-down points roughly every 2 foot. And there's a couple tie-down fittings standard equipped with the trailer. They're readily available on Amazon, or we've got them in stock generally as well. There's the inside of the side flow-through vent. It's got a 16 on center wall, so you got a 4-foot panel, 2 screws in between. You've got a dome light tied to the switch. You got an RV style door. If you're not familiar with these, basically there's a deadbolt there you'll see. You can deadbolt it inside or outside, and then you've got the other lockable handle from the outside. Unit like this, I believe I said, it's going to weigh in roughly 1,000 pounds. Just depends what equipment you put on it. This one here, I would say, is geared more toward bikes. As I mentioned, we do a 7x12 with plus 12-inch height. Ideal for your smaller UTVs, your 50-inch wide UTVs, the state trail regulated UTVs. That works well for. So there's your RV side door. Instead of having a strap hinge, it just don't look quite as nice. This has the flush lock, flush hinge. Here's a better shot of your deadbolt. If you're not familiar with this, airline track, should open the baggie first. But anyway, this guy goes right down into the slot in the airline track. It's really slick the way they did these too. This is all computerized routering. It's all the same every time, but it's designed basically to hit right on a cross member. And unlike a steel frame trailer that's got a form cross member, on aluminum, these all have box tube cross members. I'll show you what I mean. This also has an aluminum door hold back. I'll show you while I'm getting down here. But the cross members on your floor are all made out of box. So if you've ever seen a Steel frame box trailer. It's just a piece of fabricated steel, a piece of bent, piece of flat. It's not near as impressive as your aluminum. So each one of those tie downs in the floor are going right down into that cross member. Standard height on these is going to be, I believe, 73 inches of your spec, just over 6 foot. So again, lots of different options available for these. But typically in a 6 wide, most are going to want it similar to what you see here. We do have a few things in stock, spare tires or E-track or whatnot, depending on what you're looking for. We might be able to help you accessorize a little bit. This is available in different colors: black, silver, charcoal, white, and then there's probably a dozen other additional colors, some of which there may be a charge for on some of the specialty colors. If you have any questions on this unit or any of your other trailers, feel free to give us a shout at 717-220-4220, or you can visit us on the web at bestchoicetrailers.com.